Hello guys, it's the Scavenger and I got a new sprocket. Alright guys, so it's early Sunday morning. I'm out here. I'm going to try to get the sprocket put on. I'm going to probably try to go ride later. The sprocket that came stock on the bike is a 25 tooth, and sometimes I feel like I'm just pedaling and pedaling. I just feel like I need a little more power. So I decided I wanted to get a 28 tooth sprocket, and back in the day I always had a guarded sprocket. Even though I'm running left-hand drive now, I feel like I want to maybe do some stalls and stuff eventually, so I wanted to get something really strong and durable. And also I've always run a 510 chain, so you know, it's not a super heavy duty chain, it's just a regular cheap chain, heavy enough for what we do, and you know, tried and true. It's what I've always had, and it's what I've always used. I don't really want to change what I always had. So I went back and forth on this a lot, and I wanted to get you know, obviously something that looks cool, but something that was going to be strong. And I looked at a lot of different designs, but I ended up going with the BSD guard sprocket. Looks pretty cool. Looks heavy duty. It's a 70-75 aluminum, which is should be a little stronger than the 6160, which is actually better for welding and stuff. But the 70-75 is supposed to be better for like wearable items. It's supposed to be the alloy is a little different mixture, and it makes it stronger for abuse, I guess. So it's a little bit denser, I think, than the 6160. 5-spoke design. BSD makes a really nice looking sprocket. I just, you know, I kept coming back to this one, and I really like the way it looks. I ended up ordering it, and it took a little longer than I thought it was going to take to get, but that's okay. You know, it's taken me this long just to get it put on. I've actually had it for a couple of weeks now, so yeah, I'm going to open this thing up, get this thing put on, and we'll see how it does. It's a pretty simple packaging. Good, just regular cardboard, you know. Came with some extra spacers. I believe this can be 19 millimeter or 22 millimeter. I'm not 100% on if this could be used on 24 millimeter. I don't know if this is big enough for 24, but I have a 22, so it doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, it looks pretty solid, pretty nice looking sprocket. The machining looks really nice. It's kind of got a I don't know how to explain it. It's like grooved, almost like it came out of a lathe. The finish is really nice. It's I assume this is anodized. I know 70-75 aluminum is a little harder to finish, so but they did a really good job. Looks really good, really clean, nice looking sprocket. So yeah, let's get this thing put on. So this is just a stock sprocket that came on this bike. Just an E-clot sprocket, you know. Too crazy. There's nothing wrong with this sprocket. I mean, it seems like it's well built. It's got nice that it's got 3 points so you can move it around if you need to. Just wanted to try the 28 tooth, you know. Stuff out of here while we're in here. Clean again. Make sure you make note where your spacers are. But you might have to readjust this as the new sprocket goes on. Not really sure how different this thing's gonna fit. Sometimes good to keep these stacked up the way they were. Don't get confused on how it goes back together. Just put a little bit of grease on everything. Just keeps the noise down. If you ever have all that creaking, noisy junk happening, it's probably because you don't have any grease on your bike. You don't have to go crazy, just enough to kind of, you know, keep the rubbing metal from making noise. I usually kind of squish it and then wipe it out. And then, you don't want to get too crazy. Otherwise it will squish out everywhere and make a big mess. Alright. Let's see how this thing fits. This thing looks cool. BSD 7075. One thing to mention here. Make sure you clean off your bolt too. See how it's all grubby and gross. And most of that's not going to be in there anyway, so. And I always use a little bit of blue Loctite. Something, doesn't really matter what kind you use. Oh, that's red. Don't use red. Use red. Use blue. Blue. If you use blue, not only does it lock it together, but it also creates a barrier between the aluminum parts and the metal parts, and you don't need a lot, but not only does it create a barrier between the parts for dissimilar metals, but it also will keep similar metals from rusting together a little bit. So if you're like me, Northeast Ohio, if you're working on your cars or anything like that, that will definitely help with, you know, fixing stuff. So this looks pretty good on the outside. Let's see if I can show you here. So everything looks nice and flat. See the spacing here is a little off, so I'm going to find the appropriate spacer here. 22 millimeter. Honestly, it's probably almost the same one I had, but I'm going to choose it anyway. That's 19. 22. So you should be able to tell by, actually I'm going to put a little grease on that too. Just a little bit on the outside here. Just a little tiny bit. You don't need much. Like I said, it's just to keep the pieces from squeaking. Too crazy. See that? Just right inside there. Simple. And just make sure we get our arms lined back up here. Oh, wait. It's messed up. Gotta put the spacers back in. I even put a little grease on the spacers. You know, just, I don't know, seems like it's less noisy when you do all that. You know, all the points that make contact should have a little bit of grease. And then I should put this on here. Make sure your pedal arms are straight. Looking pretty good. I don't have a tool, so I just use a dead blow. Uh-oh. Got a problem. That's not good. I don't know if I can run this guard. This does not look like... Maybe if I move the spacers around a little bit. Yeah, I can't even turn it up. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. My sprocket was actually hitting the frame. Try to move these around, but I don't. Oh man, I probably don't even have enough spacers. Shoot. Oh, I might be able to flip-flop these. Let's see. Let's try that. It's looking better. Not sure if that's going to be too far out of alignment for the chain. I think I got a little more space. I'm going to try to move this other spacer back to the other side. anytime you change parts like this, it's going to be maybe slightly different. So you know, you just got to pay attention to the way the parts go together and just make sure everything lines up, make sure that nothing's hitting, you know, vital, crucial parts. And you know, if you're not sure how to do this, I'm sure you could buy the parts at your local bike shop, and you know, they probably put them on for you, or you know, they might, depending on if you get them there or not, they might not even charge you. I mean, I don't really know. I've always worked on my own bike, so it's hard for me to say exactly. But get everything lined up. Crank arms are straight. I don't think it's straight. It's crooked. Trying to put this on. This looks like it lines up better, but or it looks a little like the pedals are better this way, but I don't know if it'll fit this way. Be that close. She had one more little spacer. Don't forget to tighten up your sprocket bolt. It's a rubbing on the frame. Try this. The E-clot spacer that came, and it was originally on here, I'm going to try to put that one on. I think it's just a tiny bit thicker. Nope, still hits. It's not even tight yet, so kind of a bummer. Alright, so it's definitely something you want to consider when you're getting a new sprocket set up, is just make sure that it's actually going to fit the frame you have. I didn't even think about it. Anyway, so I got two spacers on the out. I'm just going to run it this way. See how this goes. I'm going back to the original BSD spacer here. Like I said, make sure you get your I like to get the sprocket lined up, and then I'll tighten it after I'm done, after I get it in position. Wait, my cranks are bent a little bit. Hopefully it's going to line up all right. Alright, and then again, little blue Loctite. Locks it down, but it'll make it easier to take stuff apart when you need to. Now it seems counterintuitive, but it's completely true. I've been blue Loctiting things for a long time, and it makes a huge difference taking stuff apart. It's okay, because I brought a brand new chain. Like I said, I just run these cheap chains. Been around forever, KMC, tried and true. Obviously, it's not going to be like those half-link chains that you can beat the crap out of. I don't know, in my mind, I feel like half-link chains are kind of weird. I feel like they would stretch and stuff. I don't know. I have no experience with them, so I can't really say. Like I said, I just running what I know. I think this one has a half link. That's weird. I So that's pretty loose. But I've kind of been wanting to pull my wheel back anyway a little bit. So I think I'm going to try that first. Alright, so right here, see how I do this? I just lay it in the sprocket. Lay it in the sprocket here, you can see which one you need to take out. And you just get a hold of it. Yes. That pin. Now, I've got this fancy chain breaker. I don't know why I went so long without one of these. This is great. I used to just pound them out of there with a socket and a pin. Chain breaker's the way to go, for sure. If you don't have a chain breaker, don't do it the hard way. They're not that expensive. I actually like to keep the hard part of the clip on the outside. I don't know if it makes any difference, but in my mind I feel like if it's rubbing on the sprocket, it could be rubbing the pin out, or the clip rather. Now let's put the clip facing back. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing right now. Here, I'll show you. Put the clip, see how that? I put that on the outside. And I slide it towards the back. Not that it really makes any difference, probably not. But it does in my mind. And be careful not to lose that thing, because it sometimes they fling off of there and they take off and you can never find them. Alright, so I don't know. Oh man, that's really far out. I'm honestly not sure this is even going to work. There's a lot of twist in that chain. Alright guys, so I got the sprocket on. One thing to note when you're doing a sprocket like this is to make sure that your chain's lined up. I actually feel like my chain is not exactly lined up as well as it should be. Probably going to have to get a spacer kit or something just to try to get the alignment a little bit better. I'm going to try to run it and just see what it does, but I feel like it, with the big spacer on the one side, I feel like it's a little too much, and with the small spacers I have, it's not enough. It's actually hitting the frame. So I'm just going to run it right now and just see how it goes, but I wouldn't recommend running it with your chain too far out of whack, because it might actually jump the sprocket. But you know, I'm going to see how it goes. I think it'll be okay for now, and I'll just order a kit and get the thing spaced out a little bit better. But all in all, this is a really nice sprocket. I'm really excited to get it on there. I guess we'll see how it holds up. I'm hoping that the 28 tooth will help me not feel like I'm spinning my wheels. I feel like I'm just crank. So, you know, I'm old. I don't want to pedal as much as I used to. So, yeah, I'm excited to have a new part on there. Hoping it'll go well. Got a new regular KMC chain. And actually, there's a benefit here, too, because I've been wanting to move my wheel back just a little bit further. And with the bigger sprocket, I had to add, you know, I don't even know. It's probably at least one link to the chain, so it pushed the wheel back just a little bit further. I feel like when I'm trying to do manuals, it's a little twitchy. Like I'm just the short rear ends are feeling a little twitchy to me. I feel like I'm so used to the longer frames, and it's getting better. It's just muscle memory, so we're trying to get that back. But this should help. So really good build quality, fit and finish seemed really nice. All the spacers fit well. I just had a little bit of an alignment issue with my bike, so that might not be the case for everybody else's bike. So Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks a lot for everybody who's been watching and being patient. I know I haven't been out there riding much. I'm actually going to go this afternoon and get some riding. And let me know what kind of sprocket you're running, if you've had this sprocket, if you like it, if it's been holding up for you. And anything else you want to ask, any questions you got, I'm here. Just throw a comment below, and I try to respond to everybody's comments when I can. And that's it for today. New 28 tooth sprocket, BSD 7075 aluminum guard sprocket, and I'm pretty excited to get it on there. All right, guys, next time.